Welcome back, all of you, to the classes of biology. So, in last videos, we have studied about transcription and replication. In replication, what is happening? In replication, a DNA molecule, a parental DNA molecule, is getting divided into daughter molecules, isn't it? And in transcription, what is happening? A DNA molecule is transcribed into mRNA molecule. So, in all cases, in both of these cases, a DNA molecule, when it forms daughter molecules, one parent strand will be retained, and the other new strand is formed on the basis of the complementarity, isn't it? And in transcription also, when mRNA is formed, that is taking place on the basis of the complementarity. RNA molecules are formed on the basis of complementarity, isn't it? So, in that case, instead of thymine, wherever A is there, instead of thymine, U will be added. Wherever C is there, G will be added. So, likewise, what on the basis of complementarity, it takes place. But in case of translation, what is translation? Formation of proteins. Okay, how proteins are formed? By the polymerization of amino acids. One by one, amino acids will be added to form the polypeptide chain, and the polypeptide chain will be forming the protein. Now just imagine there is no complementarity between the nucleotide sequences of DNA or RNA, and there is no what complementarity, isn't it, between the amino acid sequences of the polypeptide chain. Okay, polypeptide chain is made up of amino acids, and DNA is having nucleotide sequence or nitrogen bases. So there won't be any complementarity. So one more thing was found, that is, if there is any change in the nucleotide sequences, there will be what? Change in the amino acid sequence. So this led to the proposition of a genetic code that could be direct the sequence of amino acid during the synthesis of proteins. Okay, and in the biochemical nature of genetic material, okay, and the structure of DNA, okay, to find out the structure of DNA, it was very nice, it was exciting, but the deciphering of genetic code, it was very challenging. Okay, and it involved many scientists from many fields of science, like what? Physicist, okay, then what? Chemist, biochemist, geneticist, all were involved in this process. Okay, and it was George Gamow, okay, a scientist, physicist. He was able to say that the genetic code contain only 4 letters, or 4 bases are only needed, or there are there. Okay, and this 4 bases in different combinations, they code for different amino acids. For example, if 26 letters, alphabets, English alphabets can make a number of words in English, isn't it? With different combinations, they are able to make a number of what? Number of words. Same way with 4 nitrogen bases, okay, they are able to produce what? A number of amino acids. There are 20 amino acids, and all these 20 amino acids are coded by 4 bases. Okay, 4 bases, and this 4 bases in different combination, and that each amino acids are coded by a codon having 3 nucleotide sequence, okay, or 3 nucleotides are there. So the codon is also known as triplets. Okay, triplet codons. Why? Because in each codon there will be only 3 nucleotide sequence, Understood? Each amino acid is coded by a codon with 3 what nucleotide sequence. Okay, because of that only they are known as triplets. Okay, so it was George Gamow who proposed that there are only 4 what nitrogen bases, and this codons are triplets. They can have only 3 nitrogen bases. Okay, so for example, you see CUU is a codon. Understood? Which code for an amino acid known as leucine. Or you take any other UAU. Okay, they code for for an amino acid known as tyrosine. Okay, likewise AAG lysine. Understood? So there will be 3 what letters in each codon that codes for a single amino acid. Is it clear? An amino acid can be coded by a codon having 3 letters. So if you see all this chart, you can see that only 4 letters are there. They are what? C, G, A and U. Okay, so among with this 4 nitrogen bases, all this amino acids can be coded. And there were lot of confusions whether they are having only 1 letter, 2 letter or 3 letter. Okay, so likewise it was there were lot of confusion, and it was found that the permutation combination of 4 raised to 3, that is 4 into 4 into 4, that can code for around 64 amino acids. Okay, 64 combination or 64 codons it can have, and it is enough for coding 20 amino acids. Is it clear? So now it is clear that each codon is having only 3 letters. Understood? And then the proof from for this came from different scientists, that is Hargobind Khorana. Okay, Hargobind Khorana was able to find what or to synthesize RNA molecule. Okay, and another scientist known as Marshall Nierenberg. Okay, Nierenberg, he could synthesize what proteins. Okay, in a cell free medium. Means what? If a RNA molecule is given in a cell free medium, he could make what? Amino acid sequence or polypeptide chain. Understood? Then another finding that led to the deciphering of genetic code is Severo-Ochoa enzyme. Okay, polynucleotide phosphorylase. So this 3 finding, that is Hargobind Khorana was able to synthesize RNA molecule. Okay, then Nierenberg, he could synthesize protein in a cell-free medium. Okay, then Severo-Ochoa enzyme, or what it is, polynucleotide phosphorylase. Okay, so this findings or discoveries were very useful in finding what? In finding the genetic code. Okay, so what is genetic code? It is the sequence of nucleotides in mRNA, okay, which is responsible for coding amino acids. Coding means what? Polymerization. Okay, which will means if one particular amino acid, for example, UUG is there, what will be brought to the ribosome? Leucine. Okay, and if it is CCU, then proline will be brought to the ribosome, okay, for its polymerization. Understood? So now let's see what are the general features of genetic code. Okay, genetic code is triplet. Triplet means 3 letter codons there. Understood? 3 letters means what? In each codon there will be only 3 letters. Okay, 3 letter codons there. And you can see that, so 64 codons are possible with what? 4 base pairs, each codon having 3 what nitrogen bases. 64 are there, and among that 61 is coding different amino acids and 3 are not coding. These are known as stop codons. So when this codons comes, translation will get stopped. Okay, what are they? UAA, UAG and UGA. So these three are known as what? Stop codons. And when stop codons comes, translation will get stopped. Okay, then another feature is genetic code is, okay, unambiguous and specific, means one codon can code only for one amino acid. See, for example, CCU can code for proline, okay, but CCU cannot code for any other amino acid. Is it clear? Histone or arginine cannot be coded by CCU. CCU can code only one amino acid. So this property is known as unambiguous or specific. Okay, the codon is specific or unambiguous. Now, next, okay, character of genetic code is, the genetic code is degenerate. Okay, degenerate means, see here, you can see that many codons will be coding for a single amino. First, what I said, it is unambiguous, means a particular codon can what code for only a particular amino acid. A single codon cannot code for more than one amino acid. But what do you mean by codon is degenerate? That means the codon, many codons, okay, sometimes can code for same amino acid. Okay, so let's see, this is an advantage. Why? Because if a single mutation happens, see, CGU is there and CGC is there. Okay, so C instead of U, if C comes, okay, if they are not coding same amino acid, what will happen? There will be huge mutation. So this mutation can be prevented by this. Then another feature of codon is read in a contiguous fashion, means without any gap or without any punctuation. Okay, see, three, if mRNA is there, and if this is just one example, if mRNA is there and the mRNA is having all this codons, okay, for example, see here, ram has red cap. Okay, so three letters will be coded, okay, or three letters will be coding for a particular amino acid. Then next three will be coding another amino acid, next one another one, likewise without any gap or any punctuation it will be continued. Okay, so just imagine if a new amino acid, nitrogen base is added here, what will happen? So next time the amino acids will be coded by counting the three letters. Okay, three letters will be counted one by one without any punctuation. Okay, then see, for example, if B is added here, B is added here, then what will happen? Three letters of this and the next one and then next one, okay, will be coded. Okay, so likewise without any punctuation, continuously three letters will be taken and will be coded by the during the process of translation. Okay, then another feature of genetic code is universal. Okay, universal means, see, if you take a bacteria or a human being or any plants, in all of them the same codon will code for the same amino acid. Okay, there won't be any difference. Okay, so this is known as what? The code is universal. Okay, the code will be universal, means the same genetic code or codon will be coding for the same amino acid in all the organisms, okay, without any difference. Okay, then another feature is what can you see here? AUG. Okay, AUG is a codon which is having two functions. That is, it is acting as the initiator codon. Okay, initiator codon means which initiate the protein synthesis. Okay, and also it codes for an amino acid known as methionine. So methionine is also coded by AUG, and what it is a start codon. Okay, it initiates the process of protein synthesis. Is it clear? Now, so these are the two functions of what AUG. AUG acts as the what initiator codon, and also it codes for an amino acid known as methionine. So from it is very clear that in each polypeptide chain, the first codon will be the first amino acid will be what? Methionine. Okay, so during translation, okay, do you remember the hnRNA? Okay, that will undergo certain modifications and form what? The RNA, mature RNA. Okay, and in the mature RNA, you can see that 5' capping will be there, and after that, wherever it will found the AUG, from there, what happens? The translation process will start. Is it clear? So two functions they do. Okay, so if any change happens, okay, if any change happens in the where in the um, codons, okay, that will lead to mutation. So we have studied about what's point mutation, especially in sickle cell anemia we have studied in the last chapter, isn't it? So there also what a single the single nitrogen base, okay, is getting replaced by another one, and that results in a point mutation. Now is it clear? So because of this, okay, the codons will be read continuously. Okay, so because of that only this happens. Okay, so wherever three letters comes, that will be counted as one codon, and it will be coding for a amino acid. Understood? And likewise in the other one what happens, in the other one also same way. Okay, if any other nucleotide sequence is added here, what will happen? Okay, the complete sequence will get changed from here. Okay, so this is known as frame shift mutation, isn't it? Ram has, if two, this one is added, what will happen? Instead of reading red, what it will be reading? BIR. Okay, then next three as the next codon, EDC. Now the meaning of this or the amino acid coded by this and this will be different, and it will be causing what? Difference. Okay, in the, or it will be causing mutation. Okay, so this process will lead to what? Point mutation. Okay, so from the example it is very clear. So